This is just the intro. What's going on, everybody? We are back with the second episode of Kickback at DAMES. I have a very special guest. This man needs no introduction. As soon as you see him, you already know what's good. I could go on and on and on for days about how amazing this dude is, man. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself to the people, man. Go ahead.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous. Here with my boy Kamus, man. What's good?
Something slight, man. So y'all know every episode I'll pop cheap champagne, a little drink, might even drink some water, you never know. But for my boy Vinny, man, we had to pull up with the Henny shots. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, bro.
We just gonna get the shots popping. All right.
Yo, this the family drink right here.
You know what I mean? Something slight. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Ah, that feel good.
Woo! So, how I start off every podcast, man, I ask everybody 3 questions. Who are you? What do you do? And why do you do it?
Yo, those are like the toughest questions.
You got it. You got it.
But, you know, I'm Vinnie-Dangerous, rapper, producer, podcast host. I do it for the love of it. Like, music in general has just been a part of my life since I was a baby. Yeah. I was at the studio with my dad, as an infant. Yeah. And, you know, with him, you know, doing music and my mom with her writing background, it's just, it was always in my blood. But I just always wanted to touch people. When I didn't have nobody to talk to, music was there. You know, like I started rapping, listening to Me Against the World, Pac's album, third album. Yeah. And, you know, from there, like I felt like, you know, I could feel what he was talking about. I felt where he was coming from in that moment. And then like those are the songs that helped me get through. So I want to have that same impact on somebody else's life and some other people's lives.
That's real. That's real shit, man. So those of you who know, and for those of you who don't, Vinny and I, we've collaborated numerous of times. But I wanted to speak on one particular collaboration. We actually collaborated for my upcoming album, Damien, for a song called How to Mourn. Take the people in of your perspective of the overall studio session.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the song. When you sent me the beat,
go ahead.
Because I was sitting on it for a minute. Yeah, the words wasn't hitting me. And that week, Young Dolph died. And, you know, I'm just like reflecting on it, you know, just because of, you know, watching like the response and kind of taking in just, you know, like the circumstances around it. Yeah. And one of the consistent narratives was a lot of people, you know, anytime a rapper dies, you know, like their sales and stuff go up, like their streams and everything skyrocket. And there's a lot of people that may have been fans of them before. Yeah. That are just like all these new fans just pop up out of nowhere. Or, you know, the people that say, you know, they were a celebrity, you don't really know them like that, so why you posting RIP or all this other stuff, like why you get so emotional? And like we were talking about before with the music, like there were moments where I didn't have anybody. In hip hop was what I had. And somebody could feel the same way about Young Dolph. Some people could feel the same way about Juice WRLD or Pop Smoke or, you know, any of these countless artists that we've lost in the last few years. So that was kind of where my head was, that kind of sparked the inspiration behind my verse, was just like how to mourn, like just talking about being a man and knowing how to, you know, like process your emotions in those moments because you're taught not to be vulnerable. So whether it's somebody close to you or somebody that inspired you or something like that, like we should have the ability to process those emotions the way we want. So like when I finally got the verse, I recorded a demo and sent it to you. And then we went to the studio session and just hearing your energy, you know, your engineer, the producer's energy. You know, just kind of like the whole process was dope. Like we bounced off each other well, like we always do when we collaborate. For sure. But like, you know, during that session, like you definitely felt like the energy. Yeah, man. So yeah, it was a great process.
What was crazy was like every time we collaborate, it's always conceptual. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we do a great job at staying on topic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even going back to God Made a Monster, you feel me? Like cut that bitch off. You feel me? Like even just a topic can be cut that bitch off. Yeah. But we will still take you there to where every time we will provoke that emotion that the songs bring, or the song brings, excuse me. But yeah, man, like I can't wait for y'all to check it out. For real, my mans came through. And man, it was just a beautiful song and a beautiful experience. From your perspective, obviously, how did we first meet?
You know, we talked about this before. I'm trying to remember.
Right, because
we've known each other for so long. It's like narrowing it down to just that day. I know I met you through our boy Jones Michael.
Shout out to Jones Michael, man.
Yeah, shout out to my boy. I ain't seen him in a minute. I need to reach out to him.
Yeah,
because I remember we were working together at DPAC in Durham, and he was just telling me about you. I'm like, man, this dude is so, like, he's one of those guys, like, he's one of the guys I collaborate with all the time. He's nice. Yeah. And, like, I was hearing your joints. I was like, yo, this dude is nice. Yeah. I remember being a fan of you before I even met you. Like, you know, through him. Yeah. And so when we finally met, I'm like, oh, that's my boy. I feel like it was at the Pinhook or somewhere.
Yeah, it was.
That we met for the first time.
Was it at a show?
It might have been.
Damn. That was so long ago.
Yo, that's why I'm like, I'm struggling to remember the exact moment, because it's been a minute.
Damn. Fuck. Yeah, it's been a minute, y'all. It's been a while. But yeah, shout out to Jones Michael for bridging that gap for us, man.
Yes. Shout out to Jones, man. That was dope.
Yeah, like ever since I met this dude, bro, like I always knew he was for real. You know what I mean? Like this dude is solid right here, man. And you don't really meet that many people to where you can do business with on a, you know, music tip, collaborate and stuff, but to have a genuine relationship outside of music, I think that's what helps build the chemistry. You know what I mean? And to be real with y'all, he had a birthday recently, and that was my first time at his house. And then today here on the podcast is his first time at my house. Yeah. So even that alone, like just for us to still be solid and you know what I mean? You don't have to be around each other every day. Yeah. In order for it to be solidified. Like it's just one of those things where you know, like, okay, I got this nigga's back and he got mine. You feel me? Fact. So shout out to Vinny being a real one, man. Although we can't give y'all a descriptive time when we first met, because it was like a series of events that kind of just all came together.
And you know what's dope is that we known each other and like built that friendship, that bond before we'd even collaborated. Facts. That was like we knew each other for years before we actually like did a song. Facts. And I feel like that's always important. You know, like there's a lot of people we meet them at these events. Yeah. And, you know, like, and you know, everybody's dope. So it's not like I don't really know if I want to rock with you or not. Yeah. But like, even like, okay, you're dope, I'm dope, let's link up. I feel like it got to be right, like the right moment, the right song. You know, what am I working on? You know, because I'm not a component of just, I'm not a person that you know, just collaborates because somebody's hot, right? Or
speak on it
just because, like, you know, I'm just gonna throw you on this song. Like I feel like it has to come together
naturally, bro, organically, man. Damn, thank you for pointing that out, because that's some real shit, bro. Because a lot of niggas nowadays, they really just be like, hey, bro, let's collab, and you just like.
And it's like, yo, it's like some people I've known for years. I haven't collaborated with them yet. It's just, you know, it's just. Nothing against you, just that the song just ain't right yet. Exactly. We just ain't got the right song. Exactly. Like,
and sometimes not every artist you meet is meant for collaboration.
Facts. Sometimes that's the truth too.
Yeah,
that's
like sometimes y'all can just genuinely kick it and chill. Like it's just a genuine friendship. It don't even have to be just about music, but it's rare when you can balance the personal life as well as the music. So when you find those, keep those and cherish those for real. So now that we got, you know, into the brief introduction, let's tap into the origin of Vinnie-Dangerous. Okay. So who was Vinnie-Dangerous before Vinny became Vinnie-Dangerous? Like, give me like your upbringing as far as where you're from and how you got into music to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, I remember briefly you were telling me about your pops. Like, let's tap in more into that.
Okay. So I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Shout out to Fayetteville.
Yeah, shout out to the 2-6, man. Yes, I ain't been there. I ain't performed there in like 3 years because of COVID and everything. I had a few shows that got canceled for whatever reason, but you know, happy to like things are in a better position. So I want to, you know, go back and give back to the city.
For sure.
But, you know, growing up, because we moved around a lot, you know, because of our financial situations.
Yeah.
Money was, you know, tight. You know, my mom had me mad young. She was like 17.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an uphill battle from there. But she was always like mad supportive of me whenever like I had different interests. Like before I wanted to do music, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Tight.
So I had the weirdest trajectory. I went from wanting to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
But then I saw like, I can't even remember what ship it was.
Yeah.
But it was a spaceship that blew up. And then when I learned about space and I learned about, like, yo, you go, like I saw like the simulation of like, yo, if you take your helmet off in space, like your brain's gonna blow up and you're gonna die.
He was like, nah, fuck that.
And I said, nah, I'm good. So then I went from an astronaut to a wrestler.
Yeah.
But then in the same year I decided I wanted to rap, 1999. Yeah. One of my favorite wrestlers, Owen Hart, died. That one affected me to the point I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll just be a fan. I'm a big wrestling fan. Yeah. But I just like, I don't even know if I really want to get into that. And then later that same year, that's when I decided to pick up the pen and start writing.
What was like the segue? Because what it sounded like was you saw the consequences that came with it, right? What brought you into music to where you knew like, this is what I want to do? What was that reference point?
So I was like a really shy kid growing up. I'm still not that talkative in most settings. Right. But, you know, like I was real quiet, real shy, real reserved when I was little. And I would write just like in a journal. I'm trying to remember what year, what grade I would have been in, like first grade, second grade, something like that. Yeah. And I just remember we had a writing assignment. Okay. And my poem that I wrote, I don't remember how it go. I just remember it was called Black Cat in a Hat.
That's tight.
Yeah, like it was dope. It was kind of like a metaphor for being, you know, feeling like unwanted and feeling like I'm hiding myself, like hiding as a black cat underneath, you know, in a hat, like where I'm feeling comforted. So it was like a whole like metaphor for how I felt.
Oh, you was on a whole nother level back then.
Yeah, it's like I'm only 7 and I'm thinking like that. Yeah. And
Dr. Seuss was on to something.
And my teacher loved it and was like, you should consider writing. I think you really got a gift. Like I think I ended up winning like the little class contest we were doing. Yeah. And that was like my first taste of like, all right, I don't really want to get into it. So I did poetry. You know, eventually that led into rapping once. I went through my mama's CD collection. Yeah. I found her Tupac Me Against the World album. Yeah. And because I say this, before that album, I hated hip hop. Yeah. Because I was very aware of like our financial situation. Right. But, you know, my mom did a really good job of like making us feel great. Like we had everything we needed despite, you know, our current circumstances. Yeah. But it was when I listened to hip hop and I always think about the song Money Ain't a Thing with Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri. And I think about how they was like talking junk about me being broke. I just felt, I took it personal, like, bro, we trying. Right. And then it just kind of felt like, nah, I don't want to be a part of that because that's all it's about. That's all. It's all about the money and stuff. But then I listened to Pac and I heard a different side of it. And it made me go, okay, I could transition from doing poetry to actually like doing hip hop, but wanting to do it in that way to where just like with my poetry, I could talk, I could express myself in a way that, you know, I wasn't able to do verbally. You know, like just in conversation. Right. Like I was able to write it out and, you know, put it on record and things and just kind of blow up from there.
That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. As far as the personal things that was going on, what was the trajectory of the projects? Take me to just the time capsules of each project.
Okay. So when I was working on Yes I Am a Dreamer, that was the first project I feel like I was taken as like a serious artist, where everything before that was just, you know, I didn't really have a mind for the business yet. Gotcha. Like it was just, I want to write this, I want to put this out. Right. And, you know, put it up on SoundCloud, put it up on Bandcamp or something like that, just for people to hear it. Yeah. But then I was like, all right, I really want to take this seriously because I got out of college and I was like, all right, now I have the time to really like pursue this the way I want to. So I felt like I was getting it together. I had my LLC established at the time.
Yeah.
I started like learning how to do beats and stuff, like studying people like Selection with like guys like Sango and Sam Gelatry, you know, guys in that crew.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I was getting the production right. I was learning how to like really like taking the time to study this stuff.
For sure.
I was branding myself. I had the merchandise. So that was just me going like, but I'm looking at it like from just a business standpoint.
Okay.
So it was like the music, I loved it, but it was still catered to doing it because I think, okay, this is gonna grab people. Like even the message, just saying I'm a dreamer, I don't want to sound cynical now because I really believed it. Yeah. But it was, you know, crafted in a way where I felt like, oh, I know I could grab people. Or I know looking at like, all right, this can go in commercials. This could go in, you know, like TV shows or video games and things like that.
Got you.
Where, you know, I feel like, all right, I feel like I'm on a trajectory. Like, all right, I'm prepared, like business wise, like the music sounds great. Right. I'm getting, you know, booked here, booked there. And then, you know, everything, that was like December 2016 when I put that project out. Right. And, you know, I was just doing shows and promoting it from there. Yeah. And then May of 2017 was when everything hit a wall. Like literally I got arrested on May 1st. Yeah. Because it was when I went out and had fun, but I got arrested because it was like 3 a.m. So it was May 1st. And from May 1st, I'm dealing with the legal stuff. Yeah. And then like my brother dies at the end of the month from a heart attack. So like everything just hit me like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And I just remember, you know, like your mind just starts playing tricks on you because you're just dealing with so much. Yes. You know, so I had this anger in me. Like I was mad about my brother being gone. I just didn't understand why he was gone. And then we started looking at the numbers on social media, and I'm not as active as I probably would have been, you know, if that didn't happen. Yeah. Because I'm taking, you know, a step back. But then like you go from 30 likes or 50 likes on your post to like 10, 15, something like that. So I felt abandoned. Yeah. You know, there was like, other than a select people like maybe you and Jones and Michael Washington and a few other people that, you know, I connected with in the creative space. I felt like a lot of people just didn't, you know, care like that. Yeah. And, you know, I understand it's life, it's business. Yeah. It's life and it's business. Yeah. But in the moment, I was just so vulnerable and emotional, I just took it personal. Yeah. So that's what fueled, you know, grieving and, you know, just like, why is this happening to us? You know, so I'm in spiritual battle. I'm battling like, you know, the people that I felt abandoned me. Yeah. And, you know, just like beating myself up because of the things that, because of how I'm feeling and the mindset I'm in, that I'm not being able to do as much as I was before everything. Because there's this mental block that I can't get over. So that's what ended up inspiring Dream to Escape Hell. Yeah. And that was just a project. It wasn't even that heavily promoted. Yeah. Like the lead single was really my retirement song. Yeah. Like Wrath was just supposed to be something I was gonna put out, and then it's like, all right, I'm done after this.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that because I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that. Like I heard it, and I heard you like speak on it. But I thought it was just kind of like a metaphor in a sense. Yeah. Like, you know, y'all not gonna appreciate me till I'm gone type shit. You feel me? What made you want to retire, and then what made you come back?
So like I was saying with because I'm still trying to do music. Yeah. Even like immediately after, like after everything happened. I think I performed at the Juneteenth festival like less than a month after my brother died. And then we buried him like maybe 2 weeks after that. So it might have been like maybe a week or two. Yeah. And I'm going right back to trying to perform. Yeah. I'm pushing, but you know, because you're dealing with so much emotionally and in your mind, and you know, you just don't feel like it's worth it. You know, you just don't feel like you're still going because that's all you know. Yeah. But you don't feel like it's going anywhere, even though it's really just my mind telling me that. Like in reality, it wasn't like a negative thing to anybody else. Right. But you know, so I'm fighting this thing. I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm not going anywhere with this, and I just felt like life was just knocking me down, like keeping me from doing this. I was like, you know what? I'm just not even gonna fight it no more. Right. I'm just gonna go, just gonna call it a day, and like put this mic stuff down. but I felt like I just had a few things to get off my chest. Yeah. Kind of like if I'm going out, I'm going out with a bang. Yeah, or like just I'm not going out with nothing left unsaid. Like this is how I feel.
Got you. Letting it all out.
But the response to that song, because I just threw it up on SoundCloud. I even like it was called Untitled. Yeah. Like it wasn't even like a real thought. It was just, all right, this is what I'm just gonna put out. Yeah. And the original version was just me on it, but then people was rocking with it, like surprisingly. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there is something still there. Yeah. And even when I was like, I'm gonna retire, I'm still writing. Yeah, so I'm still like, you know, because it was still an outlet to help me get through. Yeah. You know, before I like really discovered therapy, that was just my therapy.
For sure.
So, and then eventually, you know, you just look up and you got a whole album just sitting there on your computer. Yeah. That you really don't even have intentions to put out, but it's like, all right, maybe one more. Yeah. Kind of thing. And then just the ball gets rolling from there.
So it was almost a full circle moment. So like how you said, in the time you felt abandoned. You felt as if everyone was kind of like, all right, well, you know, we're just gonna let him do his thing, to when you finally was like, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I'm gonna say what the fuck I gotta say. Yeah. Then everybody comes back and responds, like, and it's like, oh, this what y'all wanted. Got you. What was the album after that? Would you say that was Dream to Escape Hell or God Made a Monster?
Well, Dream to Escape Hell, you know, that's where after Wrath kind of brought me back into wanting to do music. Yeah. Ended up becoming Dream to Escape Hell after that. Got you. Like I love that album because of how imperfect it is. Because it reflects whether it's like the mixing, the sound quality, or whatever you want to like nitpick on the technical aspect. Yeah. It's like that because of where my brain was at the time. So you can hear it. Yeah. Like it was just a mess. But somehow it still came together as being like this cohesive body of work. Yes. It's sequenced in a way where it just feels like I'm angry at the world. And then, like I say, it's like a upside down pyramid because it's like it's projected everywhere, and then it just slowly like circles back to like what's going on the inside. Yeah. Like see, like it starts off with Hell's on Earth. Hell's on Earth is I'm mad at the world. Yeah. And then every song is critiquing the world, but it slowly starts to morph into, okay, this is what I'm going through. Like, cause you know, a lot of times when people are projecting out, so, like a lot of times it's still a reflection of what they got going on the inside. Kind of like when people say when you point a finger at somebody, you still got three pointing back at you.
Right back at you, yeah. Damn.
So it's like no matter how much I can just point the finger and be mad at the world and stuff for scrutinize, I'm really scrutinizing myself and the things that I'm upset about.
Do you feel like a lot of times when you do like your delivery and just your energy, do you feel like that's more so anger from self to where it's like you were mad at yourself in a sense of how you said, you know, with the triangle and it reflecting on back to you? Do you feel like a lot of that anger was more so talking to yourself versus to people?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Okay.
Because I was still, at the time, it was misguided, but there was still some truth to feeling like I was standing next to you, and now that I'm going through something, and I know it's awkward, you know, now that I've like, you know, gotten to a better place and reflect on it, I know maybe some people it was awkward. You don't really know how to approach somebody after, you know, they lose someone that close to them. So I get it. But in the moment, I just felt abandoned. I felt upset and angry, and there was still some truth to it. So
for sure.
You know, like I still feel like I'm still critiquing the world because I feel like a lot of my critiques, these been people that been like my boy Cat Convo hit me up. He's on Wrath, and he said like my intro track Hell's on Earth, I wrote that in 2018. It was during the riots in 2020. Like he was saying like, yo, you might have predicted this. So it was like I can still see it. I was like, I'm still like I was like in the moment I see it and I'm mad and I'm explaining it, but it was still more of like I'm only venting this out the way I am because I'm hurt on the inside.
Damn. You might have. Fuck. Yeah, y'all need to go listen on Earth for real, bro. Cause like, man, nah, damn, Convo might be on to something, bro. For real.
Yeah, shout out to Convo. Yeah, cause when he said that, it didn't even dawn on me, and then I went back and listened to it. Like,
manifestation is real. Like, really thinking back on it, it's like I'll hear one, then I'll hear another, and then it's wow. Okay, let me come back. What song resonated with you the most on the album Dream to Escape Hell?
So it'd probably be two.
Okay.
Hell's on Earth. Mm-hmm. That's probably like one of the best verses I've ever written was on that song. And Exercise My Demons. Like I say, Hell's on Earth is the one that is kind of reflective of how I saw the world. Yeah. And like it's just like in this purest form. Yeah. I wrote that song like I know nobody's gonna fuck with this. Yeah. Like, just with that mindset. But I'm writing it for me and just unfiltered. And then, but Exercise My Demons is more about, that's when it gets into the heart of where I was internally.
I felt it. I felt every bit of it. It's wild listening to it, man. Because as an artist myself, my delivery is, well, we have different deliveries. You know what I'm saying? And listening to Dream to Escape Hell, I felt it. Because going back to the abandonment, you know what I'm saying? When my mom first passed, like my closest friends didn't even know how to approach me. They didn't know what to do, what to say. And I felt so alone. And I had so much anger. You know what I'm saying? And that's why what happened with your brother in 2017, I really wanted to reach out. Because I knew what it felt like to be abandoned. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really wish that on anybody, bro. But like listening to your music, what I love about it is that side that we hide behind our mask on an everyday, day-to-day basis. We don't ever show that side because, you know, it's a yin and the yang. You got the light and then you also got the dark. Right. And a lot of people are so hyper positive to where they always want to be constantly positive, but that shit is fake. That shit is false. Like there's no such thing as constantly being positive. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody came into the house right now, like I'm not about to be positive. It's either us or you. You feel me? Like, no, like I'm not, oh man, you must be hungry. You might need, no, nigga. No, like, nigga. I'm taking your life. Like, I don't care. Fact. You feel me? But I think as human beings, man, it's healthy to be able to tap into those frequencies because a lot of times we're so pressured to not show it. Yeah. And listening to your music has helped me because from a creative perspective, I never really knew how to express that, especially until this album, to where I finally got comfortable within delivering that. You know what I mean? But I always applauded you for being able to tap into that and talking about things that people are afraid to talk about. Oh, you know what I mean? Bro. Especially when it comes to self-reflection. Because like you said earlier with the hip hop, man, like it just feels like you're constantly getting shitted on when you listen to it. And that's not fun, bro. But just when you're able to have that perspective to where you see someone at this level and you can still resonate with them, you still feel eye level with them, you still feel connected with them. I think that's a beautiful thing. And I always saw that within your trajectory, man. Like no matter where you go, because you already destined for greatness, but whatever level that it is that you reach, I always know for a fact that you will always have that source to the people. You know what I mean? That's what truly counts, man. But let's transition to God Made a Monster.
These niggas got me fucked up. Had to kick dirt on my shoe like a dump truck. Fresh out the box and they already scuffed up. So I'ma hit the parking lot and grab my burner. Oh, now you wanna beg for mercy. Should've thought twice before you touch these. And I ain't scared of a receipt, cause trust me, ain't nobody ready to come for me. Oh, these niggas.
Holy shit. Where the fuck did that name come from?
Okay. So it is kind of like linear, the way that like the album's kind of like the first album.
Peeped.
Yes, I Am a Dreamer is like, this is the optimist. Like I'm just going in here, head in the clouds. Like you said, like trying to be just positive the entire time. Yeah. And then, you know, life hits you with a reality check. Yes. And then, you know, so I'm sorting like that. A Dream to Escape Hell is me just sorting out, you know, my emotions, you know, whether it's like internally or externally. So God Made a Monster is that was when life happened, but I am clearer And I'm able to just like I feel like, you know, in a sense, Dream Escape Hell, because, you know, you're just going through a lot. Yeah. Sometimes it's not as clear because you're just trying to get it out. And, you know, it's kind of like spilling all the puzzle pieces on the ground. Yeah. And you're just going to sort it out once you get there. Mm-hmm. Whereas with God Made a Monster, it's just, I see it clearly now. Like, I see everything I was trying to convey on Dream Escape Hell that may not have been clear. Yeah. Like, God Made a Monster is what positioned that. And I felt like God Made a Monster, the title comes from, you know, God doesn't make mistakes. And I felt like I went through that, and I feel this way, that led me to write the music that's on that album. Yeah. Because I needed to feel this way to convey the message that needed to be conveyed. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't have delivered the album without all of the turmoil I went through. Yes. Like, it wouldn't have been that album. Like, it's funny because it also helped me get through COVID. Like, the pandemic and stuff like that. Yes. Like, just being 100% on lockdown, not really being able to do too much. Yes. Sitting on my phone, because, you know, that's all people really had was to just connect on social media because they couldn't connect in person. Yeah. But during the George Floyd riots, so I'm consuming this without no outlet. No, I can't go out. I can't, you know, like try to take my mind off of it. And, you know, it's important to, you know, be conscious and aware, not just to escape, but, you know, there's no room for levity at that point. Yeah. So that was just me in my purest, you know, like I'm reflecting on this. I have nothing else to distract me from this. Yeah. So this is how I feel. Yeah. And I'm critiquing, you know, police, critiquing the current administration at that point. Yeah. I'm critiquing, you know, our people. Yeah. I'm critiquing myself. Like, I'm looking at every aspect of how this whole thing wound up the way it was. And that was just me saying, like, God put me in this position, gave me these thoughts, gave me these feelings, gave me these experiences to convey this message. So the monster you hear on this record is made by God.
So finally accepting your path, your trajectory, and how you came about to where you are today. Right. Man, that is a beautiful thing. How did you link up with Germ?
So he was on Instagram. Yeah, shout out to Germ.
Shout out to Germ, man.
This project sounds this way because, you know, me and Germ would like link up in the studio and we just talk. Not even recording nothing, not producing nothing or anything, just talking. And, you know, I would tell him how I'm feeling. Yeah. Not even saying, oh, this is a song on the rack. This is how I'm feeling. Right. And he would just craft the tracks, you know, according to, you know, exactly where I wanted to take it.
Cinematic.
Without even really me, you know, knowing where I wanted to go. He just knew, like, all right, this is where you're at. This is what I'm crafting for you. So, yeah, shout out to Germ for that. But we linked up because, you know, he was somebody I always knew from college at North Carolina Central. Yeah. And
shout out to the Eagles.
Yeah. Shout out to the Eagles, man. Yeah. Eagle for life. You know, we always like, were fans of each other. Yeah. Like, you know, he loved the way I was moving around with the music, and I always was somebody that tried to do something different, you know, whether it was sonically or subject matter, delivery, whatever. And Jerome was like that too. Yeah. When he got into production, and we always said we was gonna work together. We always see each other. We was like, yeah, we gonna work. He was doing, it would never like line up. So maybe like fall 2019, I hit him up. I was just like, I'm looking to be produced. Yeah. Like, cause I've been doing everything like in-house, just grabbing beats off of YouTube.
I want to be able to focus solely on being an artist.
Right. Yeah. It's like, cause I mean, yes, I'm a dreamer. That was me trying to do beats. Yeah. Beats is tough. Yo, it's like, I give much props to the producers cause I'm getting back into it now. Yeah. Like, I'm learning it properly now, and it's like, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I wanted to focus, like you said, like on just being an artist and getting the writing out. But I also didn't want to just grab like this random assortment of beats that I just found on YouTube and having to go through that process. I'd rather just sit down and like kind of craft something. Yes. So I just reached out to him to be like, yo, if you were interested. And he just happened to be in a place where like we were able to link up. He would just throw beats at me. And, you know, it's stuff that he already had made. And then he just was like, you know what? Like, cause he went back and like listened to more of my stuff and was like, we need something that matches like the energy you give. Cause he was like, man, you overpower the beat a lot of times just cause of how aggressive and how vocal you are.
Yeah,
like,
you need something to match your energy.
Yeah, so we was like, man, we're gonna craft something like specifically for what you got.
Yeah.
And it's funny because before, like, you know, the pandemic, we had a whole different idea for what the album's supposed to sound. It's supposed to be like kind of in a sense, like if you heard like The Weeknd's new album, it was kind of going in that direction, kind of like a dark, electronic like dance vibe in a sense. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. His After Hours cover is kind of similar to the original idea I had for the cover. Wow. But when I saw him release that, I was like, nah, I can't do it now. Yeah. That's real. And then, and then the pandemic happened. It just completely changed the trajectory of where the album was supposed to go. So it was just like, at that point, it was like, all right, we're just going to reflect the time that we're in from our perspective.
Oh, tight. Let's talk about inspiration from DMX for the album, man.
Oh, well, yeah, because I was, and it's so wild because I dropped the album maybe like 2 weeks before he passed. Damn. And I was listening to a lot of DMX during lockdown. Like it was, cause there wasn't a lot of people were like really putting out music like that during, like especially in those like early stages. Hell yeah. So I would go back to the classics and like Pac is like my number one influence. Yeah. Like, but DMX is definitely up there because he was, at his peak right around the time I started rapping. So like he was definitely somebody I looked at like, okay, cause like I said with Pac, like I like that I felt like, he's just putting it all out there and I could really feel it. That's how DMX was. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to do like my homegirl Cash, actually. She gave me the idea to do the album cover. It was such a coincidence. Yeah. Or like, divine intervention or whatever. Like it was, I'm thinking about what to call the album, what's the cover art and all the other stuff. I'm thinking about that portion of it. And she just hits me with like, yo, you should do this with the album cover. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, I'm listening to the album on my way to work that morning. And like, she might have texted me that afternoon about it. I was just like, yo, that's nothing but God right there. Divine like time. He just happened to put that on, like put that in her head and put it on my lap when I was in the same mindset. Damn. So yeah, like R.I.P. to DMX. He's definitely like one of the guys that I took a lot of influence from. Yes.
And you knew DMX the artist was DMX the person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the same energy I get from listening to you, man. It's just that, when I listen to Vinnie-Dangerous, I know that's Vinnie the person. You know what I mean? When it came to God Made a Monster, so here's how I take from it as a fan. Yes, I said as a fan because I am a fan of this nigga. This nigga is talented as fuck. As a fan, man, it seemed to me like this is just a metaphor. Because, all right, I'm going to use birds because I have a bird feeder in the backyard and I like to study and observe birds. Oh, dope. But we're not going to get into that. But sound to me like Yes, I'm a Dreamer was when you hatch from the egg and you're in the nest. Yeah. Dream to Escape Hell, the prelude, was when you would see other birds fly. But you're like, damn, I can't fly yet. Yeah. Dream to Escape Hell was that when you tried to fly.
And failed. Hit the ground.
God Made a Monster is the bird's eye view. Because now you're finally flying. And you're like, oh, this is a different view. Because just as you said, you were in the midst of everything, right? But I felt like God Made a Monster were those three projects beforehand together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you were able to kind of just decipher not only what it was that you felt, but what was going on around you. So when I was listening to that project, my favorite song on that project is Built Like This, by the way. Like when my first listen, like sit down, it felt as if, like I said, just the bird's eye view, man, just kind of like you're in a space now to where this is what you want to do. You know what I mean? And you're secure. Not saying that you weren't before, but you can tell with this album, you solidified who you are as an artist. You know what I mean? Because having that bird's eye view, man, having that different perspective alone is, bro, amazing.
Oh, appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I feel the same way. That was when it felt like I know where where I stand. Yes. Like you were saying before, I felt like I'm the I'm the rapper that just kind of says it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of politics when people, and I've been there. Like, there's a lot of people that don't want to say certain things because they don't want to piss this person off or piss that person off. Yes. Like, because sonically, the album was inspired by Yeezus, you know, with Kanye.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like we said, we tried it. We tried to still make it our own. Yeah. But we was like, yo, I love that album. Germ loved that album. And he
that makes sense.
He said, like, you know, he picked up the sound and just dropped it. Yeah. Because it was, I guess it didn't, you know, work out the way it was supposed to or whatever.
Very unorthodox. Yeah. But like your vocals were the instrument that helped put it together.
I wrote it, you know, like how you said people are afraid to speak on certain stuff. Yeah. Where I was like, this song is like appreciation, but also a diss to Kanye, because this is right around the time we was just wilding. And I was just like, nah, I'm gonna say, because I can't take away, you know, your influence from me, because you are like, Kanye's one of my biggest influences growing up. For sure. So I won't dismiss that. I won't diss, you know, his talent or his musicality. Yeah. But I also don't like what you're doing. Yeah. So, and I can't just leave you out. You know, if I'm gonna critique all these other people and I'm gonna like respond to what's going on, I can't leave out even the people that I rock with.
Yes. That's real. Damn. That's real, man. That's what I always loved about you as a person, but even within your artistry especially too, man. Like I remember you had made a post the other day, and you were like, y'all, I got this one song where I'm talking shit, but I don't know if I'm trying to put it out there. I said, nigga, release that shit. Let me hear it, bro. You ain't even got to put it out. Like, let me hear that shit. But nah, man, we need that. We need that within our culture. We need that within our community. Leaders who are willing to speak up against the status quo. You feel me? Without having the fear of the assassination of their character from the media's means, and who doesn't give a fuck. You feel me? And that's really needed, man. So shout out to you for consistently, you know, doing that. It wasn't as if like you were never that. Like, you've always been that since day one. You know what I mean? Even in Yes, I'm a Dreamer, like you were still talking your shit in there too.
Oh, appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I can tell as the years progressed, you just stopped. You was like, yo, bro, I don't care. But I feel you. And going back to Kanye, as crazy as that nigga is, I have a soft spot for him. The reason being is because us losing our moms. You feel me? And it's like, I feel him on how he felt lost, but the only difference between him and I was he was underneath the spotlight. You feel me? I got to deal with my shit privately. Yeah. Because when I tell you I was doing psychedelics, cigarettes, pills, Molly, I tried coke twice. I was doing any and everything I could to escape. You feel me? And that's why now I'm at a point to where I don't even feel the need to have to do shit. Because it's like, you know?
And that I feel that. I mean, I felt the same way about my brother. You know, just like losing him. Because me and my brother are so close to age. Like, I don't even know what life is without him. Yeah, like as far as I can remember, him and his twin brother Roz were always right there. Yeah. So dealing with the fact that he's not here, and I do agree. Like, he dealt with it in the spotlight. Probably didn't have the right people around him too. Yeah. They just kind of enabled the stuff that he was doing.
That was gonna profit off that shit. That doesn't excuse the fuck shit he be doing.
Cause like I say, that's why I was like, I'ma only speak, cause I always try to make sure the message doesn't get lost. Yeah. Whenever we, I discuss certain things. Yeah. Cause like I think about Snoop when he dissed Gail. Because after when Kobe passed, and like she brought up, his sexual assault case.
Yeah, that's some fuck shit.
And like, I agree with everything he said, but the message got lost the minute he called her a bitch. Yeah, yeah. And the conversation about whether Gail was right or wrong just completely disappeared. Exactly. And at that point, it's like, Snoop, you wild and you can't be talking to. She's your elder. She's a black woman. You can't be talking like that. And
but it's like
she was off the hook at that point.
Right. Like, no. And it's just crazy because that's how Snoop is. Yeah. Like, when Snoop says bitch, like, I just found it funny how they were like, oh, let's condemn him now. Yeah. Because, nigga, like, bro, nothing but a G thing, gin and juice, nigga, doggy style. Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, we not about to sit here and act like this is brand new, bro. He's been calling hoes excuse me, he's been calling. see, he's been. We keeping that shit too, but he's been calling, you know what I'm saying, women doggy bitch, like doggy ass bitch, and it's just like, bro, it's just we not gonna go there.
Yeah, so I was like, but it just I felt like that was a lesson when I looked at it like, all right, you got to make sure. No matter what you say, like you got a message behind your stuff, and you really want to give it in like the rawest form possible, which you can't. Yes. You know, like because the minute you say a trigger word, like you say something that could be screwed as a slur or like a unnecessary slight, then all of that other good stuff, all the good opinions you had, just gone.
It was logical too.
Yeah.
It'd be logical as fuck. Like, it's just crazy how that one bad can just eliminate all the good, man. But I wanted to ask this. After making the album, what did you get from it after finally releasing it to the world?
So what I got, like, once we put the album out, because there was always this thought in my mind, like, sonically, are people gonna rock with this? And I went into it with the mindset, like, this ain't for everybody, and we doing what we want to do. You know, like, I've always wanted to go in this direction. Yeah. But it was always this fear, like, man, you know, I already feel being an artist that talks about the stuff I do with the approach that I do, there's already kind of like an alienation. There's there because it's not traditional what you would think North Carolina sounds like. Yes. Or either you're like Ninth Wonder or J. Cole, or you have to be like, you know, a trap rapper like The Baby, or you emulate in Atlanta or something like that. So being like this electronic, you know, aggressive rap, it felt like, man, I feel like a certain level of alienation from like the rest of the scene. So going full force with it, you just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do this. Yeah. But it's actually my most successful project. You know, the fact that like people gravitate to songs like Built Like This or songs like Retribution. Yes. You know, just taking it in like a whole nother direction, and people are like receptive to that in a positive way. Just kind of taught me like we could take these chances. You know, there's a lot of people is afraid to like step outside the box and do something different because they're afraid it's not gonna get picked up. They just want to play it safe and do what people are used to. But people are really receptive when it comes to like stepping outside the box. And then the people that are not, like, you know, it's all right. A lot of music that, you know, people are into that I listen to, I don't know, it's not for me, but, you know, I can see the merit in it. I can see why people rock with it, but it may not be for me personally. So, you know, I just keep that in mind. Like, you know, it taught me like I could just go out here and do these chances. It's not, everybody's not gonna like it, but, you know, there's something for everybody.
Facts. So with all that being said, man, going through the trajectory, persevering through everything you went through, right? Vinny now, how old are you?
I'll be 30 at the end of the year.
Shout out. Dang, that's what's up, man. 30-year-old Vinny. What would you tell the young Vinny who won the award in the classroom for the best, you know what I'm saying, written poem, and when that teacher told you you should do this? What would Vinny now tell that Vinny?
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't be afraid to take chance. Like I think about, you know, now, like this is the stuff that I've always wanted to do that I could have done early, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was coming up, and I was just afraid that nobody was going to gravitate to it. But, you know, nobody's legendary playing it safe. Like it's always the people that step outside the box and really try to push the art form, the culture forward, that are the ones that are the most remembered. And so I'd tell my younger self, like, trust your instincts. You know what you're doing. So take those chances and like put yourself out there, and like I promise you it'll work out. Yes,
man. Wow, we covered a lot, bro. We did. We covered.
This was great too, man.
It was a great
shout out to you, bro, because I love this. I love this whole setup.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through, man. But let people know where they can reach you and tap into you, because you know you wear a lot of hats, man. So make sure you're heard. Make sure, you know, people know what you really be doing out here, man. Let them know.
Okay. So for one, you can follow me on all social media platforms. Vinnie-Dangerous. That's Vinny with an IE, not a Y. Facts. Dangerous, all one word. Facts. You can find me everywhere from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. I'm everywhere y'all at. Also, my website, www.Vinnie-Dangerous.com. I'm terrible about updating it, so you probably want to go to my social media first to get my most recent stuff.
Tell them about your podcast too, man.
Oh yeah, and the podcast. Right now we on hiatus till I can get my stuff revamped. Yeah. I'm actually like, looking at your setup, like, all right, it's giving me some ideas of where I need to go next.
That's what it's about.
But yeah, make sure you find me on YouTube. Vinnie-Dangerous Official Music is where the podcast and all of my music videos and stuff are at. So yeah.
That's facts, man. Every time I invite a guest, man, I always have to give them their flowers, bro. And one thing I can say is, bro, in the time that we have known each other, I am very, very proud of you for sticking through everything that you went through, man, and not becoming a victim of your circumstances. I think a lot of people, no pun intended, they're not built like this. You know what I'm saying? They would crumble if they went through what it is that we went through. And I'm not wishing that on anybody, but at the end of the day, just seeing your trajectory, bro, you've inspired me in numerous ways. You know what I mean? Like listening to God Made a Monster has inspired me within my album for Damien. You know what I mean? To really tap into that frequency of stepping outside of my comfort zone and expanding it upon that. Not even just stepping outside it, but just expanding it. You feel me? And bro, just keep up the good work out here, bro. It's needed. We need more artists like yourself, man, in this world. Not even just locally, bro, like in this world, in this globe. And I promise you, bro, all the hard work that you've been putting in, man, it'll all pay off. Just keep going. And even outside of music, bro, I'm just proud of the man you're becoming. You feel me? And just really stepping up to the plate and being comfortable in your own skin as a black man in America. You feel me? It's hard to come across men who are just men. You know what I mean? And I don't even mean that from like a masculine standpoint. I mean that from mental standpoint to where it's like a lot of people don't understand that we got to play the long game. You feel what I'm saying? We got to play the long game, and we got to understand that it's bigger than us. And everything that you do, bro, you express that in all of your creative outlets and all the ways that you've presented to us in the world. So just, for the people, I'll speak for them, but really for myself, man, we thank you for continuing to just strive, continuing to be honest within yourself as a man and as an artist, and just really being great, bro, and not afraid to shed your light. You feel me? We need that. Because one of my favorite quotes from Marianne Williamson is it's not that we're inadequate, it's that we're powerful beyond our measure. You feel me?
I like that.
So continue to remember that, man, and just always know that you're more than capable. You know what I mean? You are more than able to do what it is that you truly want to do. So continue doing it, man. Keep up the good work out here, bruh. We proud of you. We rooting for you, man. This is what it's all about, bro. Like,
man, I appreciate it.
It doesn't matter if, we all in the same game, bro. It's enough for everybody to eat, bro. It's like we got to stop this whole division of, the crabs in the bucket mentality. Like, we got to dead that shit. So just as what we do within our platforms, man, we got to all come together and show genuine support to one another. Not because a person is hot, not because somebody is big or whatever the fuck y'all want to do. This is what it's truly about, sitting down and just talking about life and really just connection. And my favorite quote that I'm going to trademark very soon is community is greater than popularity.
That is a fact.
With that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in on the second episode. My boy Vinnie-Dangerous. We're going to keep this going, man. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Much love, man.
Yes, sir.